Hello humans, my name is Dale Kingsmill and welcome to yet another TED video. TED of course stands for Too Easily Distracted, and in these videos I'm going to tell you about something I have been stupidly obsessed with. And in this video I am talking about choosing what superpower you would have. Now, as a geek, this is one of those things that I've just given so much thought to over the years. I think people are tempted to go for the big, flashy superpowers, you know? Things that would make an actual superhero. Things that you could fight with, you know? Or often just flight. I mean, when I was younger, I totally went in for the flashy thing as well. I think I was a big fan of pyrokinesis when I was a kid, which, if you don't speak superhero nerd, is the ability to control fire. Then by the time I was in the middle of high school, I wanted to go more of a tricksy path. I wanted to have something that would just benefit me in the real world, but was still pretty glamorous. I wanted probability manipulation so I could play the odds and, you know, win some lotteries and stuff. And that's a pretty solid choice. I still stand by that. But then I went through this phase where I started, it's not a phase, it's still going, it's just the rest of my life probably, but I started giving any superpowered characters in my head, I liked giving them seemingly useless powers. And it's totally carried across into what I would want as my superpower, which now and probably for a long time to come is just the ability to go without sleep. Because it's kind of useless as a superpower, at least in a crime fighting sense, I guess. I mean, not useless, it'd be good, but it would just have such a great real-world application. Because I mean, what if I was the only person to have superpowers? What if there were no supervillains to fight? I guess there's always normal crime. But if I was going to be the only person with superpowers, I'd want it to be something that can benefit me in my real-world situation, like not having to sleep. Because can you imagine being able to function in day-to-day life without needing sleep? You could get so much done. You'd gain flippin' like 8 extra hours a day. That's sweet as. I'd probably spend them on Tumblr. And of course this superpower would have been useful last night when I had a bunch of Twin Peaks on the brain and spooked myself and didn't get to sleep until a little bit past dawn. And I guess if I think about it, then even the big flashy powers do have real-world applications, because you could, you know, stop houses from being on fire, and flight would be handy for travel. But really, I've kind of gotten to the point where I like my specialness to be quite mundane. And that might be a little bit stupid, but that's kind of just how I think. But anyway, that's my ramble for the day on superpowers. What would you want to have? Would you want one of the flashy crime-fighting powers, or would you want something that's a little bit useless? Please do all that sharing and liking and subscribing stuff, and that's it. I'm done. I'll see you guys some other time.